Well, hello everybody, it's me, your boy. And with the release of Coral Islands 1.0, we're all excited to jump into the game and start our new lives on Coral Island, but if you could share it with one of the charming residents of the island, who would you pick? Today we're going to run through the list of all the romanceable characters alphabetically, while leaving the final 3 story-locked characters for another video, due to not much being known about them at the time of this recording. And also, just so I don't have to repeat this every time for each character, this applies to all the Coral Island residents. Do not forget to talk to them at least once per day, and that on their birthdays you can give them 2 presents on that day. So make sure it's something that they love. And before we jump in, check out the timestamps for each character you're looking for. And while you're there, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications because we stream a few times a week, but at kind of unspecified times. So to keep in the loop, make sure you turn those notifications on. Thank you. Okay, without further ado, let's start off with our leading lady, AALIYAH. She's the eldest child in her family, and she lives in the upper portion of Fish and Sips of Starlit Town with her mother, Betty, and 2 of her 3 younger brothers, Noah and Frank. And her birthday is on the 22nd of spring. AALIYAH is the responsible older sister of the family, often taking charge when necessary, as well as offering advice and compassion to those she cares about. She's an ex-military pilot and yearns to return to the skies, much to the chagrin of her mother. So to get on AALIYAH's good side, make sure you talk to her at least once a day, and give her some gifts that she likes, including turnips and spring coconuts. But more importantly, she loves to receive white hibiscus, hummus, strawberries, eggplant lasagna, chocolate chip muffins, and both sizes of the geisha coffee. Notably, AALIYAH hates Brussels sprouts, artichoke kimchi, and scrambled eggs, so do not give those to her. AALIYAH is also quite the pool shark at Fish and Sips, so if you think you have the skill, maybe you should take your shot. Next up is Alice, the studious dual owner of the Coral Inn, the other half being her twin sister SUKI. She spends most of her time in Starlit Town running the Coral Inn or nose deep within a captivating book. Her and SUKI both share their birthdays on the 27th of winter. This game features quite a complex family tree dynamic, and Alice and SUKI are kind of at the heart of that. Her sister SUKI was married to Antonio, who is cousins with RAFAEL and PABLO, making them both ex-cousin-in-laws to Alice, her ex-brother-in-law being Antonio, and the father of SUKI's daughter, Valentina. That's her niece. She also has an interesting penchant for the unexplained and extraterrestrial, and hopes to one day experience something otherworldly. Hopefully you'll be able to provide Alice with an experience akin to the unexplained. So let's roll over to things that she loves, such as green smoothies, minced jackfruit pie, olive oil, and almond oil. Interestingly enough, her and SUKI both share green smoothies and minced jackfruit as their favorite foods, as well as another fact, they both do not like fish-related gifts, so avoid giving her anything you fished up and she'll stay calm and composed. Alright, next up is Ben, and if you love healing crystals, road trips, and music festivals, let me introduce you to Ben. Starlit Town's favorite nomad. Ben lives on the outskirts of town with his pet duck, Fun Bucket. He sells knickknacks on the weekends, and you can usually catch a great deal on some rare items. And his birthday is the 22nd of spring. As the resident wanderer, Ben is a fairly easygoing guy who relies on positive vibes and affirmative thinking. He's a vegan, and he is against all cages of all kinds. His family is a bit of a mystery for the time being, but quite close with the family of Bree, Walter, and Luke, as well as close friends with SUKI. Well, if you're looking to catch Ben's heart rather than his deals, this man loves any forageable mushrooms, bananas, and green tea. He is neutral to most of your animal products, such as eggs and milk. And notably, Ben doesn't hate anything, but he does dislike a few items, such as the eggplant lasagna, cheese, fish tacos, ama rice, sashimi, seafood ramen, sushi, clam chowder, sunny side up eggs, mayonnaise, yogurt, and the beach cockle. Also of note, Ben does travel in-game, so remember that he leaves for road trips during the end of fall and returns at the beginning of winter every year. But it seems Ben wouldn't mind a traveling companion, so if you'd like, I'm sure he wouldn't mind the company. Next up is one of our 2 doctors for Starlit Town, Charles. He shares his title with Yuri, and they both take care of the clinic and the town's residents, a job he is very passionate about. Charles's birthday is on the 4th of winter. Now, Charles himself has had quite a streak of bad luck. However, despite that, he has quite the positive outlook on his life on the island, and goes out of his way to maintain his friendships, especially with his roommate, Scott. After experiencing heartbreak from his ex-fiancée, will you be up to the task of healing his wounded heart? Well, let's talk about what gifts he loves to receive. Blueberries, strawberries, burritos, falafel, cookies, and of course, diamonds. Diamonds are a doctor's best friend. Charles is also neutral to most of your animal products, such as eggs and milk. And most importantly, Charles is allergic to flowers. So of course, his most hated gifts are most flowers. So don't give him any flowers unless you're planning on making him sneeze. Alright, serves up with superstar CHAEM. She is the star athlete of the Coral Reefs, which is a local volleyball team on Coral Island. And she's also a part-time lifeguard. Now, on your first impression of her, CHAEM might see a little bit rough around the edges, but it's just because of her blunt way of speaking and competitive nature. She's very dedicated to her health, exercising, and daily practice for her volleyball ambitions. She lives on the Hillside Observatory with WAKUU, and it's overlooking the hot spring, so it's a pretty nice view. And her birthday is on the 6th of fall. Now, if you're ready to cheer on CHAEM from the sidelines, let's talk about the gifts that she loves to receive. And they all happen to be food related. It's pizza, basil pesto pasta, nochi, seafood ramen, and veggie ramen. Those are great for bulking up. She's also yet another villager that does not like any fish gifts. So avoid giving her any type of caught fish or diving scavengers unless you're looking to catch her a wrath instead. Alright, let's talk about the most talented baker on Coral Island. Everest, or Eva as she likes to be called. Eva has befriended the entire island with her irresistible baked goods and charm. And I'm sure you're no exception. Eva works at the general store every day that is open, freshly baking the town's bread and much more. She's always ready to brighten someone's day with a delightful conversation and of course, some sweets. She's also quite the competent seamstress. And although she prefers winter, her birthday is on the 13th of summer. Eva has quite the penchant for sweets and pink flowers. So the gifts she loves to receive are orchids, peonies, cookies, red velvet cakes, and of course, diamonds. Diamonds are a baker's best friend. Eva can be quite picky, however. She dislikes most vegetables and mushrooms and downright hates potatoes, sweet potatoes, taro roots, and garlic. Avoid those at all costs and you'll still have fresh bread in the morning. Next up is our island native, Kenny. He was born and raised on Coral Island. He's a part-time rancher and a full-time animal lover. He's a big fan of the outdoors, so you'll often see Kenny tending to the animals, enjoying lunch in the forest, or just playing his flute to the lake as his audience. Kenny is a simple and wholesome man. He lives with his parents, Jack and Kira, in the cabin northwest of your farm. After his work, he likes to head to Fish and Sips, the local tavern, to catch up with his friends. His birthday is on the 9th of spring. Kenny also has a variety of items that he likes to receive as gifts, including all the forageable mushrooms and bouquets of flowers. However, the gifts that he loves are vegan tacos, hash browns, soybeans, lychee, kombucha, and green tea. Naturally, Kenny does not like any animal-based products, and he hates to receive gifts such as milk, cheese, or egg-related dishes. Eggplant lasagna, cheese, alma rice, and sunny-side-up eggs. So just keep it natural and enjoy a vegan taco or two a lake with Kenny. In the halls of the mansion in town, you can most likely find Leah, tirelessly practicing her yoga forms. Leah lives with her father Randy and stepmother Ling at the massive Victorian mansion located in town, surrounded by fine arts and designer clothes. Her mother and father went through a particularly messy divorce, so, to quiet her mind, Leah likes to be surrounded by nature while she practices her yoga passionately, sometimes with the residents of Starlit Town. She's also quite popular online, perhaps due to her innate photography skill and prowess. Leah's birthday is on the 24th of summer. However, Leah might just be the pickiest person on the island, boasting a huge list of items she either dislikes or downright hates. The list is quite long, so you can rule out most fruits, vegetables, fish, animal products, forageables, and even rare ores. Just keep in mind that Leah loves two things and two things only: hot cocoa and smoothies. With enough dedication and charm, maybe you can change her mind from 2 things to 3 things, and add yourself to that list. Coral Island's cybersecurity expert Lily works around the clock remotely. She prefers to be alone, and with her job, she can practically go anywhere on the island to get some work done. Lily lives north of the town square with her father, Jim, and her older brother, Theo. She's good friends with her ever-traveling friend, Nina, and she even house-sits for her while she's away. Also, Lily is quite the bonsai enthusiast, and her birthday is on the 19th of fall. Giving gifts to Lily is quite straightforward, just how she likes it. She likes spring coconuts and almonds, and she loves to get taro roots, alma rice, pancakes, spring frittatas, onigiri, and artichoke kimchi. However, she has a bit of a long dislike list, including some fruits and vegetables, and also all eggs. Lily also has one rare item that she hates in particular, and that's diamonds. Diamonds are not this girl's best friend. Owner and purveyor of Socket and Pan, as well as the heir to Hillside Manor and Vineyard, Luke comes from an affluent family. Not to be mistaken as the stuck-up rich kid, Luke wishes to break away from his family's legacy and make a name for himself. Perhaps a local farmer can help him achieve his goal. Luke lives in the manor behind the vineyard with his parents Bree and Walter, as well as his beloved dog Taco. He's best friends with Pablo and Ben, and often treats himself to fresh seafood at the beach shack. Luke's birthday is on the 16th of fall. Luke is a simple man with more likes than dislikes. He loves the following gifts: eggplant lasagna, tomato soup, apple wine, stew, ratatouille, and butter croissants. Luke only strongly dislikes 4 items, which are fried rice, seaweed, sea salt, and hash browns. Now let's just hope Taco doesn't steal any of Luke's favorite foods. For Macy, home isn't too far away. It's actually the next island over. Born on a neighboring island, Macy now lives at the Coral Inn and makes her living on photography, which she is immensely passionate about. Although she won't stay on Coral Island forever, perhaps you can convince her to stay. As one of the many residents of the Coral Inn, Macy and her rescue lobster, Stefan, like to take it easy. Sometimes she can be found taking photos and being shrouded in nature, and other nights she can be found playing video games while Stefan cheers her on. Macy's birthday is on the 25th of spring. Macy is very fond of wine. Every type of wine she loves to receive as a gift. Besides wine, she also loves red and blue quartz, as well as pizza, fruit tarts, and guacamole. Although try not to give her the non-wine version of those fruits, as Macy dislikes most fruits and explicitly hates all pickled vegetables. And maple syrup, for some reason. So if you have some fruit you'd like to give Macy, put it in an aging barrel first. Macy likes her fruit to get better over time. Next up is Mark. Mark will definitely be the first person to tell it like it is, rivaling CHAEM in terms of bluntness. However, as CHAEM will warm up to you, Mark may give you the cold shoulder for quite some time. That is, of course, unless you're one of the many animals he tends to. Mark's first interaction with you is sure to be a rough one. Since he did you a favor by clearing out the cavern's entrance for monsters, he'll let you know that conversations are a waste of time. Mark is also part of the Band of Smiles, an international hunting association, which includes the current known members of Kira, Giordan, Axel, and Senja. Mark lives in the woodlands with his sister Annie and her husband Paul, as well as their daughter Zoe. And Mark's birthday is on the 18th of spring. Mark is your resident mushroom man. He likes the common spring morel mushrooms, but he loves the spring mushrooms shiitake even more. He also loves hot cocoa, tomato soup, and egg custard. All quite comforting foods. The only known notable items that he hates are hot peppers and goat cheese. And most other gifts are fair game for Mark. But if you feel like you can fix him, gather those mushrooms in spring and supply him year-round. Our local, lovable librarian, Millie, can be found birdwatching or bookkeeping diligently. Millie is incredibly responsible, not only taking care of the town's library, but also assisting in all of Starlit Town's many gorgeous festivals, as well as managing community donations with Scott. Millie lives on Garden Lane with Yuri, whom she rents a room to. Her and Yuri are rather good friends since they get along well. She also has a small crush on Charles, Yuri's co-worker. And Millie's birthday is on the 3rd of winter. Some of Millie's most loved gifts are sugarcane, melons, stew, seafood ramen, veggie ramen, and assorted grill platters. Millie is yet another villager who hates receiving fish and diving scavengeables as gifts. So save those fish for recipes and Millie will thank you. No longer a Coral Island native, Nina lives a luxurious and flirtatious lifestyle where she comes and goes like the wind. The villa on the beach side of Coral Island is one of her many vacation homes. And during your tenure at Starlit Town, you might be able to enjoy a whirlwind of chemistry with Nina. When Nina was just a young girl living on Coral Island, her father suddenly passed away, and her mother abruptly packed up their lives and left their luxurious villa in haste. Attempting to find a new place to call home, they sought out a myriad of homes. However, every summer, Nina finds herself on a trip back to Coral Island, as she may have left, but her heart never did. And Nina's birthday is on the 24th of winter. One thing's for sure, and that's that Nina loves fruit and vegetable juices. She loves to receive all types of fruit juice and vegetable juice, as well as flower bouquets, banana fritters, and notably her favorite food is a yogurt. She hates those uncooked bananas, tomatoes, and even tomato soup. And during her life on Coral Island, Nina thankfully made 3 wonderful connections: Suki, Lily, Alice, and hopefully you can add yourself to that list too. Our boy Noah, born and raised solely on Coral Island, he has spent his entire life here, apart from a sabbatical to go to Tokyo for university. Returning back home to enjoy a simple and quaint life, Noah helps run the tavern with his family and enjoys taking long walks with his mother, Betty. Noah adores his mother, and if possible, he would dote on her with all his free time. However, he's also good friends with Alice and enjoys spending time conversing with her about the unexplainable phenomena. Noah is also the younger brother to AALIYAH and has 2 other brothers, Frank and Eddie. Noah's birthday is on the 10th of winter. Noah has simple tastes as well. He likes to receive flower bouquets, and he loves to receive these specific gifts: sushi, roasted mushrooms, durians, clam chowder, nochi, sunny side up eggs, and pink diamonds. Noah does not have any notable strong dislikes, but he would prefer if you did not give him any mushrooms or okra. Just like his mother, he hates these gifts. Never without a smile on his face, Pablo, the local blacksmith, is always eager to offer a helping hand. He is the charismatic and flirtatious brother to Rafael, whom he runs the Sanchez Brothers blacksmith with, his pride and joy. When he's not tending the forge, you can most likely find Pablo at Fish and Sips, the local tavern, entertaining his friends and locals alike with a rousing game of pool. Rafael mentions that Pablo may be a flirt, but he is truly looking for his soulmate. However, you may be waiting in line to give him a present on his birthday, which is on the 27th of spring. As a fan of every food that's pickled, Pablo loves to be gifted any pickled vegetable as well as maple syrup, sweet potato poutine, pumpkin pie, cauliflower casserole, pizza, and fried rice. Notably, he is neutral to most of the universally liked gifts, such as common gemstones, rare gemstones, and diamonds. Pablo is one of the many villagers who dislikes to receive any kind of mushroom as a gift. And he does not hate many things, just kombucha and durians, and of course, beaches. No long walks on the beach for this bachelor. The reserved and soft-spoken younger brother of Pablo, Rafael, is also a local blacksmith of Starlit Town, and the co-owner of Sanchez Brothers Blacksmith with Pablo as well. His birthday is on the 4th of fall. Rafael and Pablo both share the same complicated family tree as Antonio, their cousin, married Suki and had their niece Valentina, making Suki and Alice their ex-cousin-in-laws. Rafael often spends a lot of time with Valentina, and they're very close. He often visits to babysit her, paint pictures, and play games with her. Valentina refers to him as her gentle giant. Rafael has a small group of likes and dislikes. He loved gifts of sashimi, onyx, and pink diamonds. And just like his brother, he dislikes to receive any kind of mushroom. And he hates any gifts of eggs, and for some reason, he also hates fresh salads. Rafael prefers to be left alone, but perhaps you can be alone together. Local connoisseur of coffee, Raj is the owner of Raja's Coffee Corner, a small outdoor coffee shop outside of Fish and Sips. It is quite popular, and Raj is extremely passionate about running. Raj also lives at the Coral Inn, and you can often find them reading a good book in the nearby meadow, chatting up some of the other residents at the inn, or reveling in a good ghost story with their friends at midnight. Raj's birthday is on the 2nd of winter and identifies as non-binary. As a coffee fanatic, Raj, of course, loves coffee beans, geisha coffee beans, tea leaves, cups of coffee, donuts, apple pies, brewed geisha coffees, and green teas. And out of all the seasonal coconuts, Raj prefers the spring one. However, Raj dislikes vegetables, and uncommonly, Raj has no hate toward any particular item. Just the universally disliked items such as bugs and fossils. Let's just hope your coffee is as strong as your determination. Always up for fun, and a city boy at heart, Scott moved to Coral Island to start a new life. One dedicated toward his passion for artifacts and antiques. Scott is the loyal purveyor and preservationist of the Starlit Town Museum, and you'll no doubt cross paths with Scott on your path to restore Coral Island to its former glory. Of course, he'll be eager to help you with that. Scott lives with Charles. He rents a room from him out on the docks of town. He can often be found watering the outskirts of town or enjoying the company of his friends at Fish and Sips. Scott's birthday is on the 12th of spring. As a lover of all things archaeological, Scott loves all of the geodes. Earth, water, wind, fire, and mystery geodes, as well as pink diamonds. He also loves any kind of mayonnaise, egg custard, falafel, red king arowanas, giant stingrays, and yellow moray eels. He enjoys most flowers except tulips and violets. He hates those, so do not give him those ones. He also likes amaranth, as well as tea leaves and turnips. Scott also dislikes most vegetables and scavengeables, and he will remind you that he hates tulips and violets. But nobody knows the real reason this archaeologist moved to Coral Island. Perhaps it was to make history? Suki is the confident and strong dual owner of the Coral Inn, the other half being her twin sister, Alice. She takes her responsibilities very seriously and is a proud mother to her daughter, Valentina. Her and Alice both share their birthdays on the 27th of winter. Healthy living is very important to Suki. She exercises almost every day and demonstrates a clean and green diet. One of her favorite items is a green smoothie, after all. Her ex-husband Antonio also stays at the Coral Inn. They both earnestly co-parent for Valentina's sake. She's also the ex-cousin-in-law to both Pablo and Rafael, as they're both Antonio's cousins. As expected, Suki and Alice both share two loved items, the green smoothie and minced jackfruit pies. Although Suki also loves pink and regular diamonds. She dislikes all scavengeable mushrooms, and again, just like her sister, she hates gifts of every fish and diving item. Suki also believes that lunges keep you fit, but perhaps you'd like to take one big step forward with her instead? Marine biologist Surya arrived on the island sometime before you. Now you're the new face in town, and not him. Surya has quite affection to those around him, especially the family he lives with. His aunt Dinda, Uncle Choco, and cousin Archie, as well as his friends at Fish and Sips. Surya's birthday is on the 25th of fall. Surya arrived in Starlit Town freshly graduated, degree in hand. However, with no job prospect, he eagerly joined the research project spearheaded by Professor Ling. He now toils away in the lab on weekdays and unwinds with his friends on the beach or at the local tavern on weekends. Some items that Surya loves include lode, herbed tempeh, wild mushroom polenta, pufferfish, and melon. However, Surya will be the first to reject any milk gifts. He is lactose intolerant, of course, so he hates any kind of regular milk or goat milk. Surya has dedicated most of his life to marine biology, but maybe you can get him hooked on you instead. Theo, the local fisherman and busker, spends most of his time reeling in the latest catch for dinner. After a nice meal, he'll play the night away on his guitar. And if you're lucky, you might be able to grab a seat at Fish and Sips for one of his live performances on the weekend. Now, when Theo performs, he hasn't been described as having the best voice. Nevertheless, he does have soul, and that's what's important to him. Theo lives in the northeastern part of town, although, unfortunately, that's directly next to the newest pufferfish corporation. He and his sister Lily live with their father, Chip, and Theo also likes to frequent the community center. His birthday is on the 11th of fall. Naturally, as a fisherman, Theo is not impressed by gifts of fish or diving yields, unless they happen to be giant stingrays, yellow moray eels, monkfish, green sawfish, or octopus. He loves those ones. Theo also loves fish tacos and whole coconut drinks, so don't be afraid to give him a few. However, despite the drinks, Theo does not drink alcohol, so he hates all kinds of wine, beer, and sake. He also hates gifts of peonies and almonds. Theo tends to exude natural charisma, and it seems to help with attracting the fish. Now, how effective will you be? Peering through the lens to the stars, WAKUU, the local astronomer, spends most of his time gazing at the stars that decorate the cosmos above Coral Island. WAKUU works and resides inside the Starlit Town Observatory along with his roommate, CHAEM. On the weekends, he spends his time at the lighthouse with his father, Wataru. Outside of work, WAKUU is also quite fashionable, sporting a different hair color for each season. Most importantly, he takes his profession very seriously and spends almost all of his waking hours studying astrophysiology. Don't forget to remind him of his birthday. It's on the 8th of winter. When he's not working, you can usually find WAKUU enjoying his most beloved foods: senil, vegan tacos, chocolate chip muffins, and salmon. WAKUU is pretty straightforward. He doesn't have any particular likes or dislikes outside of his disdain for starfruits, green smoothies, and slimy okra dishes. However, it is quite a missed opportunity to include WAKUU's favorite drink as gravity. World-renowned volunteer and doctor, Yuri found herself settling down in Starlit Town and managing the local clinic with her fellow doctor, Charles. Yuri has an upbeat, selfless, and carefree demeanor, and is always willing to help a hand to those in need. Yuri has a great rapport with her co-worker, Charles, as well as her roommate, Millie. They live north of Coral Inn, only a stone's throw away from your farm. Born and raised on the neighboring island of Tosca, Yuri decided to settle down in Coral Island due to her constantly offering her services without a mandatory payment. Just in case she gets homesick, it's always a boat ride away. Yuri's birthday is on the 28th of summer. Now, Yuri does love some spice in her meals, and fresh seafood as well. Her most beloved gifts are lobsters, frogfish, fish sandwiches, chocolate chip muffins, spicy sauerkraut, green curry, and red curry. She is neutral to most of your fruits and animal products, such as eggs and milk. Yuri is also surprisingly not a fan of flowers. She hates receiving any giftable flowers. And just be sure not to lie to Yuri while she's taking her x-rays, because she'll see right through you. Treasure hunter, swashbuckler, adventurer, whatever you want to call her, Zara loves scavenging for all types of artifacts, gemstones, and treasures alike. On most days, you can find Zara prowling the outskirts of town for treasure, or getting ready to go spelunking into the cavern. She was born and raised on the opposite side of Coral Island, so when her boat is not docked on the eastern side of the docks, it is safe to assume that she's visiting her family. Her birthday is on the 16th of summer. While most of Zara's life is a complete mystery, she still is easy to please with her favorite gifts of azurite and serpentine, as well as her favorite foods, rambutans, grilled fish, and hummus. Zara is also neutral towards your farm products, including eggs and milk, and she only hates one item in particular: roasted chestnuts. Aside from, of course, the universally hated items such as bugs and fossils. Give Zara enough gifts and she might just dig you, since you're such a treasure. Once again, this list does not exhaust all the possible romance options, as the final 3 characters are so new that their information has not been fully covered. I fully intend to make an addendum to this video as soon as the relevant information has been solidified. Also, small announcement, yippee, the JinxMarionette Patreon is now live. And we already have our first backers, so a huge thank you to all our supporters over the journey. It means so much to us. Thank you. And, as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.